Buying the wrong home could be your worst nightmare. I get it. It's a huge investment and you want to make sure what you buy is exactly right. I'm about to reveal the 10 types of houses you'll regret, and I'm sure you won't want to make any of these mistakes. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or maybe even an experienced investor, these are the certain properties that can cost you more in stress and repairs than what they're worth. So in this video, I'll walk you through the 10 types of houses that may seem like a great deal at first, but you'll regret buying them in the long run. Number one is buying a 100-year-old home. I know they have a lot of character and they come with hidden dangers. From outdated electrical, wiring, costly repairs, guys, these homes can require a lot more than what you see on the surface. You might end up spending thousands of dollars to bring these up to modern standards. I have a lot of clients that have looked at 100-year-old homes, and even though they are very appealing, you need to be careful because there's probably a ton of code violations, electrical, plumbing, crawl space, foundation issues, roof stuff. There's a lot you're gonna have to bring up to speed, so stay away from homes that are 100 years old. My name is Mitch. I'm your expert real estate advisor, and in this channel, I produce videos just like this to keep you updated and informed on buying and selling real estate. Now, if you're making a move, whether it's here locally or anywhere in the United States, I would love to be a resource for you. Please click the link below, fill out the simple form you see here on the screen, and I will be in touch. Next on the list is homes with outdated plumbing. Now, older outdated plumbing systems can result in very slow drains, low water pressure, or even worse, catastrophic leaks. Replacing plumbing can be a huge headache and not to mention very, very expensive. Always get a professional opinion before diving into a home with old pipes. One of the things I see is polybutylene pipes, which are a type of plastic used in home plumbing systems from 1978 to 1995. Polybutylene pipes, they're flexible, easy to install, and they were resistant to rust and corrosion, and they were less likely to freeze. However, they were vulnerable to degradation from disinfectants in the municipal water supplies like chlorine and chloramine. These led to scaling and flaking from within the pipes themselves, which eventually caused microfractures and led to bursts. Replacing these types of pipes is very costly and expensive. You're going to want to look out for any home that has polybutylene pipes because the average cost to replace such is somewhere between $3,000 and $25,000 depending on the size of the home and the extent of the plumbing system. Next on our list is homes with foundation problems, which is one of the most expensive repairs a homeowner can be faced with. Cracks in like walls, uneven floors, and doors that won't close properly are certainly red flags that I've seen. If the foundation isn't solid, you'll be in an endless cycle of repairs that can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. In North Carolina in particular, crawl spaces are another big concern you need to look closely at. With the high heat we have, water concerns, moisture, and of course termites, the crawl spaces can be a big expense if overlooked. Make sure you're having these thoroughly inspected because if you don't, you could end up with a serious problem on your hands. Now, poor roof structure is another big one. A roof is one of the most important structural elements of a home, but it also is one that people often overlook. If a roof hasn't been replaced in the last, let's say, 20 or 30 years, you might want to start looking at significant leaks, mold, or even a total replacement. Roof repairs, of course, are not cheap. So my suggestion is to get a licensed contracted roofer out to inspect your home, look at all the shingles, all the seams, go into the attic and check that and make sure there's no moisture leaks or anything that may have come through on the sheathing, because if you don't, again, a roof can be very costly and you don't want to be in a position where you move in and you got to spend $30,000 on a new roof. Now, houses in a flood zone is another big one. Buying a home in a flood zone may seem like a tempting and easy thing to do because of the lower price, but trust me, you may want to think again. Flood damage is costly, and even with the insurance, you'll face significant financial and emotional stress to get the home repaired. Flood zones often come with high insurance premiums as well, which add to your monthly expenses. My suggestion is if you have a home of interest that's in a flood zone, check the FEMA flood maps, check the local state flood maps, fully vet exactly what the current homeowner is paying on flood insurance, because you really want to be careful before you step into a home that is in a flood zone, because God forbid if we have some sort of a traumatic event or even a 100-year flood event and your home gets damaged, you want to make sure you have coverage. Now, houses in an HOA. Homeowner associations are a mixed bag. Sure, they maintain the neighborhood standards, but they also come with a set of very strict rules. So whether it's controlling your home's maybe appearance or limiting what exactly you can do to your property, HOAs can be a major headache for homeowners who value freedom. So my suggestion is this: if you are considering a home in an HOA, you need to strictly review all the bylaws and of course the condo association documents to fully understand all the restrictions and check to see if the use of the property will fit your needs. As an example, if you have like an RV or motorcycles you want to store outside the property, you may want to look into that. All the bylaws and the documents from the HOA will tell you this, so you want to have a clear understanding of exactly what the HOA is before stepping into it. Now, houses on an uneven hill or a steep incline, the view might be stunning, but houses that are built on steep hills like this and uneven land can be serious issues with drainage, foundation movement, and water issues. You'll also face challenges with your landscaping, parking, and even navigating your own driveway during bad weather. So my suggestion is this: if you like a home that is on a steep incline, you're gonna have to vet a lot of things, but my number one request for you is to look at the drainage. Homes that are built below grade, that are on a slope where the basement is like a walkout, really check that front wall to make sure that there's no water seepage coming in, and if there is, that is corrected with either a French drain or something to divert the water. That is the number one thing I've seen with homes that are built on a steep hill or an incline. Next are homes that are too customized. It may seem cool to have a home that's really unique, but too many custom features can turn into a resale nightmare. Buyers want to envision themselves in their current home, and ultra customized spaces make that very difficult. So it's a regret waiting to happen when you struggle to sell if the house is too customized. So my suggestion is this: don't over customize a house, and if you see one that has a lot of customizations, make sure to ask yourself, are these going to hurt the long-term appreciation or resale value of what I'm purchasing? If that's the case, you may want to think twice, but also, how much will it be for me to fix these to make them more kind of standard and not as outgoing to maybe turn off a buyer? Now, houses that are flipped by LLCs, they may look appealing with the new finishes, but many flippers, they cut a lot of corners to maximize profit. Be wary of poor workmanship or cheap materials hidden beneath pretty surfaces. A quick, cheap renovation can lead to very expensive repairs down the road. The number one thing I can tell you before you buy a flipped home by an LLC is check for permits. Plumbing, electrical, anything major that was done structural was done by a licensed contractor. You do not want to step into something where the work may have been done shoddily or maybe by a handyman that wasn't licensed, and then down the road you find out that there's a major concern or issue with the structure or the electrical system. Last but not least, you want to get a licensed home inspector ASAP. One of the biggest regrets home buyers have is not getting an inspection before signing on the dotted line. An inspector can help you spot major problems early before they become a major financial burden. If there's one takeaway from this video, it is to get a licensed inspector ASAP during your due diligence period. In North Carolina, you're gonna put a sum of money up that's non-refundable called the due diligence money. And during that period, let's say if it's 2 weeks, you need to have a licensed inspector go through that property and inspect it to make sure you understand exactly what you're buying. If you avoid this step, you can put yourself in serious trouble down the road if you find something that could hurt you financially. So those are my top 10 things to avoid, of course, in buyer's regret when purchasing a house. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe and notification button. We come out with videos just like this every single week to keep you informed. And again, my name is Mitch, licensed broker here in the Charlotte area. And if you're considering moving, whether it's here locally or anywhere in the country, I'm connected. Would love to help you. Click the link below, fill out the simple form you see here on the screen, and I will be in touch. Thank you.